Have you ever stopped to wonder who is it that's actually doing the watching? Behind your eyes. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fundamental questions from the Bhagavad Gita. Who is the real observer? Now, at first glance, this seems almost too simple, right? The answer is me. I'm the one observing. But the Gita tells us, hold on, it's a little more complex than that. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to look at it from a few different angles. So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at 3 possible answers that might seem to contradict each other. Then, we'll talk about the one thing that makes it all make sense: context. After that, we'll zero in on the ultimate absolute witness. And finally, and this is the really important part, we'll see what all of this means for us and this promise of liberation. Okay, let's put on our detective hats. To solve this mystery of the observer, we're going to look at it from 3 totally different perspectives. And what's so cool is that you'll see how each of these answers can be absolutely correct, all depending on the situation you're looking from. Here they are, our 3 main suspects, if you will. Number 1, Brahman is the observer. Number 2, God is the observer. And number 3, the one that feels most obvious to us: I am the observer. So let's unpack what each of these really means, one by one. So let's start with the big one, the most absolute answer of all. Brahman is the observer. This is the answer you get when you strip away everything else. All the labels, all the roles, all the situations. This is the observer in its purest, most fundamental form. To really get this, think of Brahman like a television screen. The screen itself allows the whole movie to play out on it. All the drama, the action scenes, the love stories. But is the screen involved in the movie? No way. It doesn't tell the hero what to do. It doesn't stop the villain. It just witnesses it all. It permits everything to happen. That, right there, is Brahman, the silent, uninvolved witness. Okay, now for answer number 2. God is the observer. Now, this becomes the right answer when we add a specific context, the context of creation itself. We're not just looking at the blank screen anymore. We're acknowledging the one who wrote, directed, and produced the entire movie. And then we have our third answer, the one we live and breathe every single day. I am the observer. And this is totally true, right? It's true from our personal perspective, from inside our own bodies and minds. In our movie analogy, this is the main character's personal point of view. All right, hang on a second. We've got Brahman, we've got God, and we've got I. How on earth can all 3 be the observer at the same time? It feels like a total contradiction, doesn't it? Well, the key that unlocks this entire puzzle is one simple but really powerful word: context. This is such a brilliant way to explain it. Think about it. Is a woman a daughter, a wife, or a mother? Well, she's all 3. To her parents, she's a daughter. To her husband, she's a wife. To her kids, she's a mother. It's the exact same person, just seen through the lens of different relationships. The observer works in the very same way. So, to make sure we're super clear, let's put the 2 biggest ideas side by side. It is absolutely crucial to see the difference between Brahman as the ultimate, totally passive witness and God as the active, hands-on creator. So remember, Brahman is that silent screen. It's the underlying awareness that allows the whole show to go on, but it never, ever gets caught up in the story. It just watches. God, on the other hand, is the active force here, the cosmic intelligence that actually sets up the whole environment, that establishes the laws of cause and effect, karma, and makes sure actions have consequences. God is the author of the story, not the paper it's written on. So this leads us to an even deeper question, doesn't it? If God and my individual self are sort of contextual roles, which reality is the real deal? The absolute, unchanging one? The texts use this fantastic analogy. Imagine you're standing in a funhouse between 2 curved mirrors. One is convex, so it shows this tiny, shrunken version of you. The other is concave, and it shows a giant, stretched-out version. Now, which reflection is the real you? Well, it's a trick question, right? Neither of them. They're just distorted appearances based on the context of the mirror. In the same way, God and the individual self are seen as reflections of the one true, absolute reality, Brahman. So now that we've peeled back all of these layers of context, the actor, the director, the story itself, we finally get to the ultimate answer to that question we started with. And here it is. When all the roles and relationships are put aside, the one true, permanent, unchanging observer is Brahman. It's the pure awareness on which this entire universe just appears. And this realization, this deep understanding, is the absolute heart of verse 1324 from the Gita. And listen to the promise it makes. He who understands this Brahman is sure to attain liberation regardless of his present position. This isn't just some abstract philosophy. It's being presented as a direct path to freedom. Liberation. Wow. That is a huge word. But what does it actually mean for you and me, right here, right now? And why is this ancient idea so incredibly relevant to our lives today? See, the liberation being talked about here isn't about escaping to some other place or after you die. It means living this life, your current life, joyfully. It's not a destination you have to travel to, it's a massive shift in understanding that happens right where you are. It's finally realizing that you are the screen, not just one of the frantic characters in the crazy movie playing on it. So how does this understanding bring joy? Well, when you start to identify more with the witness, you're no longer completely swept away by the drama of every thought and every emotion. You can experience sadness without becoming your sadness. You can feel anger without letting that anger completely take you over. The ups and downs of life still happen, but they don't get to define who you are at your core. And the best part? This freedom is available to literally everyone. There are no preconditions. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Recognizing your true nature as the witness, that calm, steady, unchanging awareness that's been behind the scenes your whole life, that is the direct path to living with a deep sense of joy. It means you can play your part in the movie of life with everything you've got, but with this incredible underlying peace. Because, the screen is always okay, no matter how wild the movie gets. So I'll just leave you with this one thought to sit with. If your truest self is that silent witness, what are you observing in this very moment?